Hello and welcome to
You gotta stop with that.
Chainsaw Cast. Wait, Chainsaw Saw.
You don't even know the
Jim.
fucking show. I'm Sam.
I'm Jim.
And I know the show. I'm Sam.
I'm Eddie, and that still gets me.
I'm gonna get Jim with a chainsaw
They
next
say
time I
it's the
see
last
him.
thing that podcasters hear before they die.
Thank you. So,
I can tell you that's
yes.
what Jim's gonna hear next time I see him.
Sam murders me in cold blood. So welcome everyone to our monthly-ish Chainsaw Man podcast. I say ish because normally the schedule is not consistent. Also, we just wanted to kind of do an episode now that the anime is over, because I think we have a lot of thoughts about the anime. So
Yeah.
what I mean by that is season 1 of the anime. I believe it ended yesterday. So we're going to be talking about the anime first. We're going to talk about episodes 10, 11, 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to talk about the manga, the newest chapters of the manga, which I believe are 14 and 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, I have to say, I have to give it to MAPPA. They actually did the impossible and sold on this anime adaptation. I'm actually very impressed with it. I didn't think that I would be as impressed with the anime adaptation of Chainsaw Man as I am.
They had a big expectation from them for this more than anything.
No matter what I say later when we're discussing episodes in more detail, no matter how harsh I feel, this was still a really solid adaptation. Not my preferred way I would have done it, but definitely really strong, and it definitely captured what I believe the director was going for. I believe there was an interview with the lead, I can't remember his name, who talked about wanting to, when he makes the Chainsaw anime, or Chainsaw Man anime, he wanted it to have a realism to it so that anyone could watch it and understand what was going on, sort of like a film.
And I have to say, honestly, my uncle, who does not watch anime, he's extremely anime resistant. Even he was watching Chainsaw Man and asked me about it. And I really think it's that kind of grounding in film. Especially, I feel like the OP is designed to be really friendly to American audiences.
Oh, yeah.
Or just because it's so many of these quote unquote prestige films, and also Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, that's not really a prestige film.
Hey.
But so many of these really oh, these are oh, this is good. It's the kind of movie that your uncle's dude, this is a good movie.
Is that the Big Lebowski? Oh my god.
Oh, is that Reservoir Dogs? And it's yes, it's very much there.
But yeah, I really think that they did a great job. Just in the minute to minute direction and animation, I'm extremely impressed. Literally movie style, movie quality animation in every episode. I was utterly shocked by that.
And
we did not see a dip.
I think Fujimoto being hands-on for it as well probably helped a lot of I guess filling out some of those in between things, or maybe he's the one that told him to cut a couple things.
I really hope it wasn't Fujimoto who said to cut a couple things, because some of the things they cut actively weakened the scenes that they were cut from.
I still feel we can get a Muscle Devil OVA or something.
I don't think you need to, because the Muscle Devil scene, going all the way back to episode 2, the Muscle Devil scene isn't a long one. So that's why it's so weird that it was cut, but it is an important one.
If Attack on Titan can get some useless OVAs, multiple useless OVAs, and fucking Chainsaw Man can get a Muscle Devil OVA.
I don't even think a 5-minute OVA would even be worth it at that point.
We gotta fucking.
I'm so baffled by episode 2. I think if there were any major missteps, I think that episode 2 was probably the weirdestly handled.
Yeah.
It has some really great scenes in it. The scenes with Denji and Makima are good. But,
Yeah,
it felt really weird, even when I was watching it.
If I were to ever put 2 episodes from this adaptation on, blast, it'd be the last episode and episode 2. Those are the only 2 that I think were not so great. The rest I could argue that this wasn't handled the best way, but that's mostly semantics. It's more so those 2 episodes felt really off.
Yeah, and compared to the first episode, which, we talked about it already, but was just a chapter. It was a single chapter that they were able to really wonderfully extend into a really emotional and impactful story. And then the next one just felt like they were trying to make up for like lost time or something. It was weird.
And like, don't a lot of first like Shonen Jump chapters tend to be extended anyway, so you can easily cover one chapter for one episode? Like,
I have not read JJK, but I feel like the first episode of the anime is probably just the first chapter.
Oh,
I might be
yeah,
wrong,
usually the first chapter of, like, a Jump series tends to be a bit longer than the rest. But usually, the standard that I've been told is around 4 to 5 chapters per episode, and Chainsaw Man was moving at, like, a 1.5 chapters per episode pace, so much so that we end up ending on, with original scenes added in, the middle of chapter 38.
Okay.
Out of 97.
Not surprised.
It's so weird to think. And like, I know I just watched the Giguk video on it.
Oh, I didn't watch it because I saw the thumbnail. I'm like, die from cringe.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's Giguk.
I know, but it's just the most like low ball,
You know what you're in
like
for.
Chainsaw Man, like clickbait thumbnail.
I can't
But
watch.
he's like an anime only, and like that is an interesting opinion. And it's funny to see so many people being like, Chainsaw Man, like just beginning, but then you're saying like, oh, it's actually like chapter 38 is essentially where it's weird. It's just it's funny to like the perspective.
It just came to me. I know this is kind of nowhere, but like with Chainsaw Man Part 1 is gonna be like Part 7, where like Part 2 is really good. Like it's gonna be like Part 8, but people are just not going to read it.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of, like, because I already find that in my friend groups, too. A good majority of them have all now actually read Chainsaw Man. The ones who haven't are people who don't normally read manga on their own, but we're watching the anime. And I'm just sitting there, like, I can finally have, like, long-term discussions about things, and I start talking, and I catch myself, like, shit, they may have read Chainsaw Man, but they aren't reading Part 2, because most of them read it physically. And they're waiting for the physical releases of Part 2, and I'm like, no, just please, just read it digitally. I want people to talk to about this manga.
I don't want to pay $3 for the Shonen Jump app to read it.
Hey, didn't you hear? Jump's about to start gouging us even more. They're bumping it up to $4. It's crazy.
Oh, no.
I'm literally gonna fucking burn my copy of Shonen Jump.
I refuse to read any more One Piece now. I will stop in this Wano arc. I can't do it. Because of you, Shonen.
But I can't even watch any of those. I can't watch a Giguk video. I tried to watch the Eye Patch Wolf video, and I had to tap out within, like, the first few minutes.
It's in my watch later, but I'm like, what can he possibly say more than I have it already? Like,
well, he can say that Aki is a teenager for some reason.
I just think of, like, smoker voice Aki from the dub, just like...
Man, there's the other misstep. I think Aki's dub choice was a very weird decision. Of anyone who I think that they should have just typecast into the obvious role that should have belonged to him, it should have been Aki. Everyone else is fine. So far, I can't think of any other voice in the Chainsaw Man English dub that I don't like. It is all Aki, and I know that he has some good line reads, but it's a package deal. One good line read amongst a dozen of them that I don't like does not make me suddenly like the cast choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty. But a lot of stuff. The action's still really good in it all, and the character stuff is really good. Even the extra character stuff is like awesome. I think the last episode I did like the little bit of extra character stuff in it.
Oh yeah, I'll say that. Like the anime in its additional scenes, fantastic. Like that whole ED with like a highlight reel of things that happen that then transitions into like just the Hayakawa family hanging out. That was a pleasant surprise.
It was like one of those moments where I was like, please don't end. Like I just wanted to keep going and going. Like I wanted to be like tricked by the episode that like you know sometimes we'll put like the end credits like really early and it'll keep going. I was like, oh, can we have like 10 more minutes of this post credits, please?
Chainsaw Man ends here. Nothing bad happened after it.
Because I was like, oh, but we need to have a scene with Reze, right? Come on, guys, show me Reze.
I called that.
Yeah, I was actually shocked that they were able to squeeze it in there. I didn't well, it did. I was like, well, they'd have to cut a couple things, and well, they did, but they still squeezed in a couple other things. And we get like a just way more brutal death of Akane.
Yeah, I was like taken aback. Like I knew it was coming, but I was like, whoa.
I wasn't expecting them to show her just decapitated body fall to the ground, because in the manga it's like literally like a 2-panel thing. It's like the snake bite and then Kobeni reaction.
No, you don't understand. We have to show Kobeni traumatized even more. Okay, we gotta make
Kobeni reaction.
Yeah, she got so scared she shat the rest of her abusability out of the series. She won't do anything else from this point on.
No, she's gonna get replaced by her car and then do nothing, and
then immediately and then replaced with her brother.
She won't have any more action. I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure she has no more action afterwards. She gets like ice cream.
Oh yeah, no, she gets ice cream with violence.
Violence, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is like the last of her action of her like nothing personal kid. Like, but yeah, I did like a lot of that extra shit, including the fully coolly smoking your cigarette cigarette with words on it.
I did
notice. Are you gonna talk about Fujimoto's Twitter?
I did. I'm not actually. You go first.
Okay, you gotta let me know before Fujimoto Twitter if he's in character or like did he get like I know he got.
Oh no! Account, anytime the episode was airing, his sister handed him his phone, so it's always Fujimoto talking about it.
Because I remember his account got deleted at one point.
Oh yeah, no, his account got deleted, but it's back now. He made a new account, immediately got 250,000 followers, and then deleted it when he got his old account back.
What a Chad.
But so I always get his tweets like randomly because I don't watch the episodes when they come out because they come out at kind of a weird time. But I was looking through like it's always like 1-word tweets. He always does these really quick 1-word tweets, and one of them was translated to furikuri, and I was like, he said it. He said he said
the thing that he said before.
If he learned one thing, that smoking is cool.
But I do really like that scene of Aki smoking the Easy Revenge cigarette, because there's like a bunch of things there. First, you obviously have the Fooly Cooly reference, which he said before. The Fooly Cooly is like one of the main inspirations for Chainsaw Man. I could talk about that, and like I think that gets brought up every time I talk about a character from Chainsaw Man. But it's also calls back to like what happens in that scene where Himeno says like, I think in the subtitles it's worded a little bit differently, but in like the manga she talks about like, here, I'll give you this when you're finally grown up and ready to rely on something. And so, she gives him the cigarette. The cigarette was his sort of, like detox, the thing that allows him to take the edge off of. But now he has Denji in power, so he no longer needs the cigarette. So he does one last smoke. And, following this arc, he quits smoking.
Yeah.
So he has a new sort of form of detox. He's found the thing to replace smoking in Himeno. It's just a really, really strong scene that technically we won't have a payoff for until next season.
I really liked that little I think it's all like original, like the added bit of them like shopping and like walking home. It really reminded me of like the scene when they go with Aki to visit the grave later on, where it just kind of reinforces that like Aki now has 2 dumb children that he needs to take care of, but he also loves them.
He has to be this big older brother now.
So one thing I kind of learned about like in Japan, like Himeno is like not a popular character at all.
Well, there's a weird thing with that. I think you're talking about the Chainsaw Man poll that got like purported around by a bunch of just Chainsaw Man accounts.
I can't remember, but people, like, I guess the summary of like, what I hear multiple people said, it's just, like, people think she's not good enough for Aki, that's why they don't like her, because she's, like,
that's very funny.
A horrible influence, which she is.
Oh, yeah, no, she is, to say Himeno is a bad person is a bit of an understatement, but she is based... Yeah, like, and she's also, like, based off of a character who is very similar to her with, it's a character that I think gets a similar reaction if you guys know Mummy Me from Fooly Cooly.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Very much the same type of character, very much the same type of problems, but she is flawed in a way that is very easily understandable. Sometimes those flaws overshadow how understandable she can be, and things get brought up, and there's some weirdness to it, like when she just gets drunk and almost fucks some Denji.
Hey, but the important thing is she doesn't.
Yeah, the important... She always is close to breaking the law, but never technically does.
My kind of woman. Yeah, no, that's a really like I didn't make the connection until you said it with Momimi, but I think that like Himeno is a great example of a character that is really built by the world and lifestyle that she's in. Like if I were to judge her as like a human, like a normal human person, horrible, awful, terrible, but she's like this weird like almost like suicidal like line of work where you're basically signing your own death certificate by joining. So it makes sense that she's like super hedonistic and like
She can't get attached to anybody seriously at all because they die. Like,
yeah, and it makes her like attraction to Aki really tragic because it's like she finds herself in him. She finds like a future with him, like potentially. She wants to get out. It's like that classic like like I retire tomorrow kind of thing.
2
like,
days
we
to
just, like,
retirement.
after this job, we'll leave. We'll leave the force after this job kind of thing.
Yeah, she's kind of the opposite of what is standardized as the traditional Japanese girl, the to use like an old like literary term, the Yamada Nadeshiko, the perfect like calm, sweet, pure woman. Himeno is the exact opposite of that because she lives in a very like quick to retirement, and retirement means death line of work where why not engage in vices? Why not fuck anyone that you like? Bring someone home that night and go out the other night. It's not like it matters. I may die tomorrow. But because she lived that sort of drastic, like trashy lifestyle, she ends up sort of spoiling herself in the eyes of a lot of viewers, which awful, like, lack of a better word in that regard. But that's why her and Aki seem like such a like mismatch pair there, because she's trying to cling on to someone who she sort of raised to be the type of guy she wants, but Aki is sort of this clean-cut, like, model citizen, work till he dies, literally. Well,
he's dead set of doing his one objective, his one revenge, so...
Yeah, he's the businessman who will keep going no matter what, and his business is killing devils.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you have this sort of trashy, like, vices-involved person versus Aki, who I wouldn't see him drinking unless he was invited to go out.
Mm-hmm. And even then, he'd have like half a beer and then he'd leave.
Unless Makima was there.
Mm-hmm.
Makima is Aki's dumb switch.
But yeah, and I really love that. Like, she's like a great foil to Aki because she makes him like she leaves such a strong impact. Even though Himeno is a character that literally is only in like a handful of chapters or episodes, whatever.
Leaves an impact.
She leaves such an impact on Aki, I guess more so. Like it's almost like she's giving Aki permission to like form bonds with other people, kind of like he's allowed to like be friends with Denji and Power, even though he hates them.
Even Denji is like affected by her because he's like basically gets revenge for her too. He like straight out says like, "Yo, you fucking killed Himeno. She's like my first real friend."
That's true, and it also got him to get even closer to Makima because he realized that I don't want girls to throw up my mouth. I want them to kiss me.
Also, how about that Makima scene with her and like the Yakuza? Like,
that was great.
That seems very good.
Love the part when the guy just touches her and he fucking dies.
He dies
like, damn, that guy just dies.
He dies of cringe.
Cringe.
He dies of cringe.
He sees like the Makima stands and dies of cringe by touching her shoulder. He sees like the wolfing comment and just like shrivels up.
All right, I'm gonna move on.
Are you sure?
From that. Just to kind of talk about the last 3 episodes. I really loved the Future Devil stuff. That was so seeing like where they keep the devils is really interesting to me. And like
I wish we see
they have
more.
all these codes and like pins and shit to keep like the devils locked up. It's I don't know.
SCP shit where there's just like devils you cannot comprehend are just locked down there. You just go in there, the Future Devil's just a fucking weirdo to you, and you could just like get a power.
And he's huge. I didn't realize how big the Future Devil is compared to a human. It's like legitimately terrifying.
But I don't know why.
I mean, they have to be big enough so you can stick your head inside his chest.
True.
That's true.
I wasn't thinking like the personality like that until I actually hear it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is how he's like. It's just like weird hearing it in an animation and audio form.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. Yeah, he's great.
I kept hearing that they changed his line,
Did they?
But in like my quick watch back, he seems to say relatively the same thing. As
What the thing where it's like your death is gonna be fucking awesome or whatever. I think that's how they translate it.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's gonna
I
be freaking
went-
sweet.
in episode 11, it's your death's going to be the fucking worst. Which is what he means, because the use of the word worst, like the fucking worst, is important for what the death actually is.
Yeah.
Because when... spoilers for people, I don't know why you're still watching this podcast. How many episodes has this been?
Huh?
At least 5, I think.
I mean, did this start as a part 2 podcast?
It did. It literally did, yes.
Okay, so, like, spoilers. Aki dies in the worst fucking way possible for Denji. That's the piece of detail that the Future Devil is keeping from him. And that's why it completes a perfect package of the fucking worst for Denji. Not for him. In fact, Aki's death is fucking awesome for him, because he dies in the most Aki way possible. Finally feeling joy for the first time in his life, and killing the Gun Devil in the same regard, because him dying as the Gun Fiend kills the Gun Devil.
A real.
That's true. I was gonna challenge you on that, but that is a really good point. Because I was gonna say him becoming a fiend of the Gun Devil is kind of the worst, but yeah, no, he does have that like happy memory at the end.
Yeah, like
It's
it
a real
literally
genie's wish, where it's a very ironic. Like,
in his mind, everything went back to the moment before his life was ruined, and he got to play catch with his brother. In reality, it's not so great for Aki, but he technically is the vessel that killed the thing that he was trying to kill. So, it's sort of a win-win for him, minus all the casualties, but, like, this is Chainsaw Man, and the Gun Devil could have been so much worse.
It was going great until everybody died. I mean, when we see the Gun Devil, like, the giant fucking, like, massive being in the sky, like, that's what you're...
I love
you're
that the Gun
expecting.
Devil's in the opening of the anime, and he did not appear once in the fucking show.
Yeah. I still, like... I remember getting to that chapter. I'm trying to look up what chapter it is. When the Gun Devil appears. I think it's literally chapter 75. I felt like I was not mentally ready for it yet. Like, seeing the whole Gun Devil, I was like,
We haven't even seen the
it's
whole
too
Gun Devil.
The fucking list of names.
That's true, I guess,
so
yeah.
great. I mean, it just felt
Yeah,
like,
but
like
that's the
all the
same
build up,
chapter, I
like,
think.
there's no way they can do this satisfying with the power scaling you think they're doing. Like, there's no way Denji would stand a chance.
And then it's like, what's with all those names? Oh
no.
Jesus.
Oh no.
And then you start, and then the clock, and it's like, this didn't even last a minute. This was a 6-second fight.
This is like sports, like percentages and like stat trivia. Just like, oh yeah, this place lost this many percent of people, or like this population's gone.
The
Shit's
Gun Devil
fucked.
showed up, and suddenly Gon and the crew were raiding the Chimera Ant facility.
Oh my god. But yeah, I'm wondering how they're gonna do that. Scene's gonna be crazy animation wise.
I'm very curious how they're going to interpret that. Because, like, I've
Both
seen
the
how
names,
they've
yeah.
already interpreted sort of the fourth wall breaky segments with how they handled the Curse Sword.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very curious, like, what the Gun Devil's even going to look like.
CG.
Oh,
There you go.
No.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Here it comes. It's the attack of Reboot.
Oh my god, it totally could be a reboot. Look,
Reboot.
or no, even worse than
there
reboot.
was one-
X-Arm CG.
Is that...
Just like,
Is that Transformers? Is that
Wars?
Beast Wars right
Beast
there?
Wars.
Beast Wars.
Fucking Beast
Oh my God.
Wars.
I literally saw, like,
And
this
that's
is
Optimus
yesterday.
Primal? Holy shit.
I think I was watching, one of my friends has, like, he downloads all these, like, old recordings from, like, the 90s. It'll be, like, a block of TV. We were watching, like, Nickelodeon cartoons from, like, Christmas and, like, I don't even know, like 90, 95. And there was a Beast Wars commercial. And one of them turns into a rhino, and it looked so fucking bad. It was, like... It was like robot, and then Rhino like grows out of him at like 100 times speed kind of thing.
That sounds awesome.
I remember growing
That's
up.
the aesthetic I want to live with.
I remember growing up. I had like a McDonald's or Burger King Beast Wars toy that was like a fucking wolf or a rat, but it would just like flip over and the head would fold in, and then it had like little wheel legs. Oh my!
To me, so when I got into Transformers, not to be too much of a tangent, I got into Transformers after Beast Wars. So to me, Beast Wars was like apocrypha. Like I got a Beast Wars toy, like Optimus Primal, for Christmas one year, and I fucking hated it. I was so mad. Like, Optimus Prime turned into a fucking red truck, not this fucking dumb ape.
Because I was the weird kid who never really got into Transformers. I always thought it was
Same.
kind of... I was like, I don't get it. Like, they're so much cooler as robots. Why do they turn into lame cars? And I think I've kept that mindset my entire life.
But they're epic when you turn them back into robots. That's
I
the
mean,
fun
they
part.
are pretty cool robots sometimes, except for I don't really like most of their designs.
See, Jim is like, I sleep. Transformers, Beast Wars, I sleep. Code Lyoko, real shit.
Real shit.
Yes, true.
I think that's one thing me and Jim connected like early on, though, is that we both watched Code Lyoko.
It's bait. Code Lyoko's based.
I did watch Code Lyoko this year for the first time all the
Oh.
way through. My God, that is a fucking 3 out of 10 show that becomes a solid 8 with friends. That was an
It's really funny.
experience.
It's really funny to watch it now with a group.
The fucking
It's very funny.
What if the live action sequel from France?
Oh God.
I just, not to keep going on this tangent, but like Code Lyoko is like some of my earliest memories of feeling shame. Like I would feel like utter shame watching Code Lyoko if I knew that like my parent, when like my mom was in the other room, I'd be like, oh my God, please don't have my mom walk in and see me watching
Like,
Code Lyoko, please.
Me watching Totally Spies before waiting for Code Lyoko to come on and seeing
True.
insert fetish here being performed.
Yes, also Totally Spies also based. We love our weird French cartoons.
The Cartoon Network's like, sure, we'll take them, I guess.
There's like one studio in France that is like, oh, they will just keep making anime. Like they're doing the fucking. Actually, I think Wakfu is a different studio.
well, they
but
do,
There's the Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah, that
that's
one.
Also like.
There
All right,
was
this
French,
is
there was
too
French
much.
Cartoon
I
Hour,
could
then
keep
there was
talking about
Geekio
this shit.
GX Hour. Geekio GX Hour was space. But, so is there any? Okay, so we'll talk about the.
Oh, I did want to say one thing. I
Go
want to
ahead.
say one thing. So, okay, we were kind of talking about like how the Cursed Devil didn't really get like its due. Like it was so perfectly done in the manga because like the cursed fingers are like literally coming from like off or like out of panel.
Yeah.
And they can't really do that in the way that they did these scenes. There was one scene I thought was really cool. The part, I think that when Aki, like right before he goes to the future devil, he talks to the cursed devil to ask how much time he has left. The way that was done, I thought was actually pretty cool. Like it was like zoomed in on the cursed devil, like the whole screen went black, and then the cursed devil like said, "Hey, you got this much time," or whatever. I can't remember
It,
the
like,
scene exactly,
whispers.
but yeah, and then it kind of like zooms back out, and like the color returns to the world. I thought that was actually pretty cool. The scene that I'm half remembering.
First Devil should have gave him a refund for not being able to actually kill Katana.
Oh no, he killed
That would be
Katana.
great.
It was just he
got
killed a guy
better.
who couldn't be killed.
It's like, damn, he had an extra life, man. Sorry, no refunds. Bye. Thanks for the life. I was gonna say like the train scene. I think you mentioned Medi about it like being different.
Yes, in the final episode 12, that's when I think the biggest kind of saddest difference happens. Like, not only is the fight extended in a way that is kind of awkward,
Like Spider-Man 2.
first you have the whole Katana Man versus Denji fight. I think was a lot weaker than the manga, and I'll go into it now. You have the similar build up to it, where Katana Man talks to Denji about his heart and how he's like, you have no heart, or you have no empathy. Even I feel sad when I have to kill a zombie. And he's like obviously trying to make Denji kill himself, and Denji does his denial. And then Denji chooses to fight. Katana Man pulls his arm off. Denji revs himself up, and then it just fucking does this weird pull out where it shows the building. We don't get to see Katana Man's transformation, which I don't know why.
It's very
Because in the
sad.
manga, we actually get to see the blade begin to extend out of his head, like how the chainsaw does on Denji, and I think that's a huge downgrade.
Yeah.
Then
we
we have-
get to see the goo. We get to see the goo animate of it coming off of him, but we didn't. They don't want to animate it turning on, which is weird. Also, really funny how like Denji has like the rev in his chest, and Rize has like the choker to activate it, and just like Katana just like pops his hand off.
Hey, listen,
I love that so much.
Dororo is a really good anime, and he thinks so too.
Oh yeah.
But then you have their clash, which the stuff on the building and through the air, that's fine. Then they land on the train, and for some fucking reason they start talking, as if Katana Man gives a shit what Denji has to say about his life.
There's
I
no way
do
they'd be able
not-
to hear each other on a train.
And like, even saying if they could, he doesn't fucking care. Like, that scene feels so forced in to, like, give us a reason for this fight, and, like, to slow things down to sort of show us a spectacle, when in the manga they just immediately crash into the train. Like, then you have a scene where the Katana Man just vanishes and appears like 400 feet in front of Denji so he can land on top of him to set him through the train, because we added this weird scene where they talk on top of it. And then the fight continues pretty similar to the manga, where Katana Man sort of beating him around, kicks him into the ceiling, and he falls backwards next to a girl. And this is the biggest change. So, before that, one of the big key elements of fighting Katana Man is that Denji finally learns how to block the Aijutsu strike, where he dashes forward really fast. And
the samurai move.
The way he does it is he sees it coming and he puts up both of his arms and basically stops it, because how the attack works is like a focused strike on a certain area, and if you don't see it coming, you basically you're going to get sliced right through, but if you see it coming, you can block it pretty effectively. In the manga, the girl that he lands next to panics because there's two devils fighting on the train and she thinks she's going to die, so she jolts up, and that's right as Katana Man's about to dash forward. Denji, like a hero, steps forward, raises one arm while trying to grasp the girl and keep her out of harm's way, like keep her head down, and that causes his arm to get cut off. In the anime, she just kind of lies on the ground doing nothing, and Denji is like, oh, whoa, and raises both arms. One arm gets cut off this time for some reason, and even though he blocked with two arms last time. And then she just runs out of the area.
Yeah, she just runs off the train. The train just opens up and she just runs off the train.
Well,
that was really weird.
The train came to a
really
stop.
Weird. Yeah, but still, it was really weird how she's just there. He doesn't, like, get in front of her or try to block the attack for her. He just...
Because, like, in the manga, he even lands behind her. So, like, there's, like, this... The train comes to a stop, she completely falls over, Denji fucking ricochets and lands behind her, and she's getting up and she's scared. In the anime, like, she's already on the ground, fucking, like, Kobeni style, face first. Like, she tripped on her way out and isn't moving. And so, when Denji lands next to her, then the scene continues as I just explained. And I just think that is such a weaker moment for Denji as a character, because he already gets enough shit for being, like, the only saves girl character, and he doesn't have a lot of heroic traits, but, like, the story of Chainsaw Man is a hero story. He is, in a way, a superhero, and she does come back at the very end of the manga to talk about that event. And so, I had made a funny, little edit the other day because of this, where this is the same thing that ties back to the Muscle Girl, or the Muscle Devil Girl, where
Muscle Girl.
Everyone in this scene is now going to have to tell a lie, because he didn't save the girl at the stop, so she never met the Chainsaw Man. The guy who thanks him for protecting him from the bat hated him at first. And that one's the only unedited screenshot here. And then the final one is like, he was on a train. He didn't save her. He doesn't.
He was next to me.
I'll include this one.
He was next to me when I was on the ground after I fell.
And, like, I've seen some people try to defend the scene, saying that Denji was still trying to protect her. I'd say actually go back and watch Denji's body motion.
He doesn't
Some
move.
people say he moves over top her. He doesn't. He literally moves his arms up to block the strike, and the way that the line is written in the subtitles makes it seem like he's like, whoa man, take it easy, type of, like, hey, instead of the hey, civilians, like he is in the manga. I just think that the manga itself is just a much better experience for this fight, and is just a much more, like, tightly knit story, because the point of that scene of Denji saving a civilian is to show that Katana Man is a hypocrite. Katana Man talks about him having no empathy. He says, like, he couldn't hurt, like, he even feels bad when he kills someone. And, like, I've seen some people argue that we already had that scene back when we first fought Katana Man, when he cuts through one of his own guys. But I think there's a big difference between killing a civilian and killing one of your terrorist goons.
It's
really funny, that little conversation they have. Like, it does seem to just negatively impact Denji's character in this adaptation.
Yeah, it's just one scene that just drags, like, because I was looking forward to this fight, because it's a great fight. Because following that, fantastic. They even do a really... one thing that they could do in the anime that the manga couldn't, because the manga is a lot of still pages and you can read it at your own pace, as slow or fast as you want to. When Denji does the, like, alright, it looks like I have no arms, but I'll finish you with my head, I always get a chainsaw in my head, when they do the dash forward, Denji quickly does a flash kick in the frame that they attack. And that is him using the leg chainsaw. In the manga, it's very clear what he did. In the anime, it's not immediately apparent. You might catch it, or you might miss it. I've seen some people actually completely miss it, go back, and see him do the kick in the attack. And I think that really sells what that scene is. And that's how motion can outbeat the manga in a way. But I think everything following that scene was more important than a single action scene.
Yeah, I agree. I do want to just say, like, I had, like, maximum levels of, like, punching the air, like, screaming at my screen when he and and Katana Man were first fighting, like, on the rooftop. Like, the way that, before they get on the train at all, the way that scene was animated, I was like, yes, like, this is why I watch animation. Like, this is what excites me about animated fights. Like, the way there was so much weight in their movements, and it was so kinetic. I was like, yeah, and then it starts to drag a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's a very cinematic fight.
Yeah, and it just kind of going back to the whole thing of, like, manga versus anime, it is kind of the problem with the anime in general. Is the fights in the manga are really condensed, kind of for a reason.
They're fast.
Like,
yeah,
we don't need to really spend all this time. Like, Fujimoto's not trying to get these, like, it's not like when I'm reading, like, One Punch Man, where I, like, can almost see the scenes being animated, like, on the page, like, motions conveyed so well. Like, I don't read One Punch Man for that reason. I read it for different reasons. So
you read it for Fubaki's and Tatsumaki's ass.
Also, I have to retract my statement on the Akade's, like, her death scene. They actually do show her body. I completely forgot that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they show her body fall over, but it felt like a little bit of a longer scene, so I guess that isn't an original. It was just way more grotesque.
Snake devil that can also just reanimate other devils it eaten.
Hey, it didn't reanimate. It reanimates in the manga, or in the anime, because when she said swallow whole, it ate about maybe fucking 5% of the ghost devil. I still think that thing failed its fucking task there. It had one and it failed it, but in the manga, it ate like 90% of it. So spitting it out makes much more sense.
Well, the anime one can just literally, like, fill in the gaps, I guess.
I also saw, like, a weird thing when it came to her spitting it out. Like, some people were confused why she started to bleed from the nose, and, like, I saw some people say, like, oh, she's being attacked by Makima at this moment. I'm like, you don't get it. What's going on there? For me, that's the contract that she signed there. I went over it when I talked about Akane and the Katana Man video, where I believe what she paid for there was, like, the sense of smell in that nostril.
Oh, that's interesting.
Nah, Makima, he obviously.
Yeah, it was clearly Makima from, like, long distance using her, like, mind thing, and then she just stopped doing it for some reason.
She never does this. I love the idea, like, oh yeah, this is a power that the character never does ever again, but they did use it this one time. It's just not explained.
It just takes a lot of prep time, and they ran out of prisoners in the country.
Yeah.
Their crimes were none of the prisoners left. Crimes were big enough for them to, like, use. Hey, then we get the Rize tease, which is
very good.
Cool.
She's being her voice actress is the name I can't remember, but it's
I got it. Rina Ueda.
Anne Hathaway.
She's she voices a Demon Slayer character named, like, Kanoa or
Kanoe.
Something. Kanoe. I don't know Demon Slayer, but I know her as the Kane from Gridman Season 1.
Let's go.
I'm like... in this portrait of roles that I've seen.
As the number one Reze stan in the whole fucking universe, I was very excited to see her, and this is that scene is an emotional time bomb for new viewers as she is doing what she does at the end of her arc at the beginning,
Yeah.
and she'll do it one more time in the middle of the arc, so it'll be the rule of 3, which I believe was actually lacking from the manga version. So this is a somewhat anime improvement, adding the fun rule of 3.
But can she speak Russian?
Oh, that lullaby scene is going to be interesting. But
There's
another musical scene that I kind of felt was underwhelming. I think that Denji and Aki kicking Katana Man in the balls was kind of underwhelming in the anime.
Yeah,
You want Santa Maria playing through forever? That's what I wanted to hear.
I kind of agree. I felt like it was like weirdly built up to, like it should have been quicker and it should have been punchier.
Well, they did that, and then it cut away real quick, and then they come back to it.
I feel like it should have... Even though, like, he does scream in the manga, he screams at the very end, where they do, like, this is the requiem from us to you. I feel like that should have been, like, a cut to Ave Maria or something. Like, his turns into Ave Maria. Because the scene itself is a direct reference to Crollo's symphony from Hunter x Hunter. I
thought you said Frollo from Hunchback.
I thought you said Frollo too.
Frollo? Yeah, Crollo from
Hunchback.
Hunter x Hunter, when he does the, I think it's during York New, when he conducts the orchestra, like, this is to our fallen brothers in arms, and then, like, it's this beautiful, like, sort of operatic piece over violence, and I didn't want to hear the kicks and the grunts from the characters. I wanted Aki's voice over slow-paced opera music, as if this was some grandiose scene to sort of play, because that's the feeling that you get from the manga. He literally uses, like, the shining glue, bloom effect on the characters. This is a beautiful moment, juxtapositioning the very funny and brutal thing they are doing to this man's balls.
You know what they could do, to, I guess, do another movie reference? They could just do what Office Space is, and just have it, like, hilariously dramatic, but them, like, kicking this man in the balls, where it just is just playing, like, badass music, while they're, like, just circling around him, kicking him.
When they're destroying the printer in that movie.
I honestly would have been happy with, they did add a couple of them, more nut shots, but I think, like, they should have, like, I would have preferred 30 seconds. Give me, like, a whole 30-second, like, nut beat down on this man.
The Santa Maria, but sung by the Riddler in the Batman movie. That would be the best way to do it.
Oh, you mean Yuko?
Yes. Does he know?
Does she know?
Does she know? So, but I heard
Every
people
episode.
thinking about, like, they maybe do Rize as a movie? Like, that arc is
That's
just...
the-
I like joked about that a few episodes ago. Is that
People
really?
There's
thinking-
no
people-
confirmation for it. It's the trend right now of, like, they do a season and then they do a movie.
Jujutsu Kaisen had it perfectly with Zero.
Yeah, they did a genius thing. I hear that apparently the staff that are working on Chainsaw Man is not working on Chainsaw Man right now. They are being moved to Jujutsu Kaisen's next season.
Huh.
Can't
So-
wait for that.
Yeah, it'll probably look pretty good then.
Yeah, so I think that's where they're being transitioned to. So I don't think we're gonna get a Chainsaw Man movie anytime soon.
Because, like, I'm trying to think, because, like, you do the Rize, then you go into, like, International Assassins, and, like, I'm trying...
That would have
and
to
then
be a whole
Gun Devil.
season.
Yeah,
Like
so, like...
That entire thing would have to be a whole season.
So,
Oh, yeah.
like, Rize being, like, a movie, I think would be perfect. And especially that fight, I want that, like, Rize destroying everybody, like, in movie budget. Like, just...
And she throws her head.
Yes.
I would personally want, like, Reze to get her own season, because at the pace that the anime goes, it would give her the proper respect she deserves, because she's a 2-volume, like, fight. Like,
Yeah.
it's the first volume is the end of Katana Man. It's, I think, starts... what chapter is that?
I think we also get, like, the Makima movie
Yeah,
scene,
because the
too.
movie date would be next.
Yeah.
Because the movie date immediately follows Katana Man's arc ending, because, like, where we end in the anime after Aki and Power and Denji are all having their party is after Power's big scene during the raid where she killed a bunch of zombies and absorbed a lot of blood. She grows the extra horns.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one time.
I love that part so much.
And
I fucking love.
I mean,
Chainsaw
it's
Man.
kind of funny though, because like the ED was like them afterwards, and she doesn't have.
well, yeah, and she only grows them after they wake up from their partying.
Yeah.
After
That's true.
she rests and is absorbing the blood. Man, I love that scene of Power going to town on the zombies. Mainly because I think it's a play or a parody on Nobara from fucking Jujutsu Kaisen and her, like, I want to be beautiful and strong. Because Power uses both of those terms to describe herself.
God, and her
And then Denji
and her
just
neighbor moved away.
ignores it. Just moves on.
Jim, do you know Power's
so
moved?
funny.
A neighbor moved away, and that's why she left hell.
Terrible.
God. Nobara did fucking win me over by the end of that first season, but still, I always joke about that.
She had a really cool moment. I
No,
I'll say, I said it once, I said it again. Black Flash is the coolest thing ever. I love it.
But what's it called? And another thing I had. Oh my god, I had the thing in my head, and I just freaking just wiped it.
We did see all the fiends too.
That's right.
I liked their little introduction scene.
Jim,
that was really fun.
You picked up my thing I had in my head. Good. So what did you all think of, like, the 1 second of each of the fiends that we saw?
I think it matched the manga very well. I don't think they needed to be in the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really funny.
It made me think that this anime was going to be a whole lot longer than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to see Beam, who's like the one I was really like happy, like really interested to see. Like,
Beam.
Jim, what if we get like a OVA about like Spider, but it's like the fucking Levi OVA for Attack on Titan, where it's just this random like visual novel they just do of like
how Spider's adventures before she joined.
it's in the underground
Completely
city
nothing.
of like Hellsberg or something like that.
One of like I'll just like, 'cause we should probably move on soon, but I just have to say, like, the scene where Spider like moves her legs like show up, and that was immaculately animated. It looks so fucking cool and scary.
Yeah.
It made me think of what's that old 90s anime? I think it's called City Hunter.
Okay.
Is it City Hunter? It's the one where it's like there's like a naked Spider Woman. It made me think of that.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is.
It's not City Hunter.
Okay, City Hunter's about the guy. I think of it stupid,
It's not
Super
City
from
Hunter.
like Jump Force, where he just throws a car at you, then like shoots you, like shoots the car and it blows up on you. The only thing I know about City Hunter. It's just a man with
No.
gun. But there was.
I'll never find it.
You'll never
I
find.
don't know the name.
Also, there was some of the EDs we had, like the CG one, that like basically did like violence being maybe confirming that theory.
Oh yes, the ending of episode 11, which
Yeah,
does the scene where it's Himino, Kobeni, and then violence. I wonder who was introduced with Himino and Kobeni that could have fit a strong male role there.
I don't know. He's dead. Who cares?
Yeah, he's dead. he got shot in the head.
Hey, never coming back. And
If they ever brought him back, they'd have to put like a mask on him so that we wouldn't know it was him until it was never revealed to actually be him.
Also, we didn't really talk much about the training, the quote unquote training arc with Kishibe.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Also,
it was
if you
fine.
actually
It was funny.
foreshadows like the leg chainsaw, because you see Denji on the ground, like his pants are ripped, where like the chainsaw would come out. It kind of I like.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, I found it. It's Wicked City. The anime's called Wicked City.
Okay, you got half right, kind of. So, anything else to really say about the anime then? I guess if you gave it a score out of 10, how would you score it?
I scored it 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give it a strong 8.
I kind of agree at 8.5 probably.
My biggest hangups come with the changes to the adaptation that I felt were really unnecessary for the most part.
Yeah, I think I said it before. I think I was very disappointed with Muscle Devil just not being there. That's like my biggest.
It's just funny because you have an adaptation that is like extremely close to follow most of the time, and then whenever there's these big changes, or not even big changes, but when there are changes, it feels like why do they do this? Like, what's the real purpose behind this?
Yeah,
just go.
It just shows
like,
how like tightly knit Chainsaw Man as a story already was. That like even the smallest change can have ripple effects that really, for me, impact like some of the strongest aspects of the story.
Yeah, Sam and I actually just finished the Stone Ocean anime kind of recently, and they did a lot in the third batch. They did a lot of restructuring scenes from the manga to the anime, and I thought that was pretty good. Like, honestly no complaints in like the little scenes they extended or rearranged. But with this, it's like, I don't know. I guess because I care about Chainsaw Man so much, and when I see, and I don't care about Sonotion as much, and when I see little things that are like not done right, at least to how I would see done right, it's like, but really, like, what we're kind of losing something. Like, even like this, I keep looking at this panel you posted, the edited panel of like all the people talking about not having met Denji.
Well, if you don't like the anime, you can sign the petition to redo the entire anime again.
Oh, okay. That's the other thing. Fuck those people. Like, actually fuck those people. I hate being on the side of, like, I thought it was pretty good, but I didn't like these changes, and people are like, yeah, no, fuck the whole production. It should be dismantled and remade. Like, you're fucking wrong. And then, like, I raised my complaint with the Katana Man arc. It's like, the anime's had a hard enough time. You shouldn't criticize it. Like, you're also fucking wrong.
No, you're not allowed to be on the central of this. You have to fucking like die on the cross for the anime or murder the anime. It's just like
unhinged.
What do these people want? Like, people that are they are upset at the anime, like, how much better do you want it? Like, I literally can't even imagine.
I think the only thing I would change is just the fucking add the couple scenes back in, or at least change the couple scenes. But I think their problem is the sort of change of tone, because Chainsaw Man had a lot of its colors kind of muted for a more realistic feel.
Oh.
So I think a lot of people were really hoping that the colors were going to look like stellar or like sort of like crazy colors. But instead they got sort of almost too realistic looking of scenes. Like, they used a lot of photography to sort of build backgrounds and make it look like they were really in a world at times. And for some people, they wanted to sort of they didn't want that. They didn't want like a Tarantino-style film. They wanted something more sort of colorful.
A little more heightened. And yeah, I actually saw a TikTok of someone who did like recoloring of all the characters to make them a little more vibrant. And now hearing that like in context, it makes more sense. But I like vibrancy too, but I'm not gonna fucking tell them to remake the whole fucking season of anime.
Drag Mappa back in there to make them redo it. Like, just drag their already exhausted fingers like they're animate again and rotoscope again. Like,
yeah, hilarious.
Fucking people are unhinged.
All right, final thoughts about the anime before we can move on to the manga.
I don't think so.
I think we got it. Great.
Yeah, I think I've gotten everything I wanted to say out of it. They're like, outside of minor changes, pretty solid adaptation. I would watch it again. Except for I wouldn't watch the dub. Change Aki. There's my petition. Yeah. Change Aki's voice actor. I'm sure the guy's a lovely individual, and I don't have any ill will towards him. But get him off of my production, or at least get him voicing a character that he fits better.
You mute it. You have the subtitles on. You read it yourself.
Well, no, if I'm gonna watch the dub, I'm not fully paying attention. I'm usually doing something.
Now that you mention it, we keep getting this one really negative comment every week. This guy's like, please stop shitting on the Aki voice actor. I'm definitely not him, but please stop shitting on the English actor.
I swear he's nice and handsome and the coolest person ever.
His penis is humongous.
Damn. And he wants to be nominated for the Crunchyroll English Dub Voice Actor Award. But he's not even.
We'll campaign for him.
No, he's not nominated this year because they've already cut off like the winter stuff.
All right, next year we'll get him next year.
Yeah, we'll get him next year on the JOKAKA award show.
All right, I would like to make a motion to move to manga discussion now.
So we're only gonna cover 2 chapters. It's like a chapter and a half because the second chapter is like half a chapter.
Yeah.
Do we want to address?
It's one of those classic Chainsaw moments where I like got to the page that said to be continued, and I was like, wait, did I like skip a few pages by accident?
So I'm not sure if you guys know this, but this and like the next chapter had been leaked for like 3 weeks.
I was just about to say, do we want to talk about the elephant in the room of the leak?
I did not know about the leak until you tweeted yesterday about your theory being correct.
So
it was yesterday.
I knew about the leak,
I think Aeon mentioned the leak. I had not heard about it.
I also hadn't heard about it till that point.
Yeah, I'm surprised because I knew about the week before you guys figured out there was a leak, and like I read it like, oh yeah, this isn't gonna be real. This is all bullshit. And then I read the chapter like, oh no, 4chan was right. Oh no.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I think some people are assuming that it's an English side because another detail to this thing. You guys don't read Dan to Dan, right?
No, but I heard about this leak before.
This is an official side leak where they posted the wrong page on their chapter preview thing, and it's the next chapter, fully in English, fully third style, meaning that chapter's already probably half done and ready to go.
Oh my
It's like
God.
they had a bunch of chapters done and took a holiday break, but they just had the chapters up and ready to go.
So it's probably for these, sort of digital magazines, the Jump Plus series. They probably do bulk stuff, kind of like what Togashi does with Hunter x Hunter now. Which, side tangent, very funny Christmas gift, Togashi.
Hiatus.
It was the hiatus on Christmas Day.
I missed
not only did Panty and Stocking ruin Christmas, but now Hunter x Hunter ruined Christmas again.
But it's assumed that these things are made in bulk and sent to them to be scanned, translated, and typesetted, and all the stuff that goes into the English manga side of things. And so the leak is assumed to be on the English side, at least from the people I've talked to. And it is just a very unfortunate situation because this will likely continue until the leak is found.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Also, I do want to say, since I have not read the leaks, I do not want to read the leaks. Let's keep it leak free here. We're gonna plug all those leaks at least.
I will I'm the compromised on the next chapter, at least small details of it, so I won't even make predictions about what I think is going to happen.
I think it's only up to 16. If it's the next chapter, it's the only thing it went up to, I believe.
Yeah, because I think next chapter we'll probably also see Fujimoto take a 2-week break.
Deserves it.
But
riding the high of the anime.
I will say, I did not know about the leak until we got this chapter, when my fucking theory about the ripcord on his chest was proven right. I called it. It was the cosmetic surgery.
Fucking fucked up.
Yeah, that was so funny. When I was reading that, I was like, ah.
He literally fucking... how much did that cost?
But that's chapter 115. We're still on 114.
I know. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about the cost of getting a cord into your chest surgery, because there are some funny real-life equivalents to that. But yeah.
So yeah, in 114 we get the reintroduction of the Devil Hunting Club,
Endless
which
Aquarium.
I fucking love.
Chapter 114, Endless Aquarium.
Yeah, Endless Aquarium. So we're doing that. We're doing the Eternity Devil again. It appears
again. Electric Boogaloo.
And yeah, I love the fucking what's his name? He only says it 10 times. The president.
I've already talked about the eye patch man, the really wide eye patch.
Yeah, RE2 or I2.
Yeah.
Did he actually? I was like, he didn't say much either, which is very funny.
Haruka Issei.
Big whispers.
Is his name. Haruka. So I love this guy. He's a classic idiot, dumbass character. We love to see it.
I love that his introductions keep getting cut off this chapter. It's so funny.
It's great.
And you can easily come to some realization that oh yeah, Fami literally probably sent them there, and that's why they're conveniently showing up.
I mean, yeah, it is kind of convenient that them and also our boy returns. It's the freak.
He's not stalking them or anything.
The creature feature, Yoshida.
He's not stalking. He's just looking at fish.
It is really funny. I love how big he is in this. I mean, in part 2 so far.
Yoshida would be a fish if he had to be interested in anything. It would probably be fish. He's the octopus devil contract.
I did see something kind of neat. Or I did like what they did, where people immediately call out the fact that, man, he's really overqualified for this shit.
Yeah. Also, so they know that he was a civilian devil hunter.
Yeah, he's super overqualified.
The fact that I'm surprised that information is just known to this fucking club though.
I guess if he was a civilian, that means he probably has records, so they just looked him up.
Anyway, I don't know. I guess they saw him in a suit one day. Oh yeah, he definitely fucking looks like a devil hunter then.
Well, he never wore the Devil Hunter attire. Since he was civilian, he could wear what he wanted.
One day, he wore a suit and tie to something not devil hunting related and got stuck on the job, and he got put into a database of yeah, you're probably a fucking devil hunter. So
but
yeah, then we get the most. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of Yoshida, I saw an interesting theory involving him. With you know how octopuses have the ability to camouflage themselves as things?
Yes.
Mhm.
Someone raised an interesting question about Yoshida's ability and how could octopus mimic other devils in their as long as he's seen them. And that led me to think, what if this pseudo Chainsaw Man is Yoshida?
Huh.
What if Octopus could become a Chainsaw Man because he knows what Chainsaw Man looks like?
I feel like okay, this is kind of like an equivalent, but like in X-Men Mystique, she transformed into Wolverine. She can still do the claws, but they're not like actually like the fucking like can't like, cut you or damage you. They just literally are just a fucking part of you. So I think that Yoshida couldn't actually rev the chainsaw.
Well, that might be
arm.
why it was such a brutal way that Yuko died then.
Yeah, it was just the fucking tentacles that came out of his arm that made him cut like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but that was just a theory that I saw the other day, and with Yoshida being here and like that being sort of like the thing that literally just happened last time was sort of cleaning up the last big devil attack. I think Yoshida might be a bit suspicious on who the fake Chainsaw Man is.
I don't think it's Yoshida. I feel like if it's like you wouldn't need to disguise as a Chainsaw Man to kill her on the rooftops.
That's true. That is true.
Like, he doesn't know her, really. He paired up with her in, like, one thing, and then they literally never talked again afterwards. He just cares about Denji not being an idiot and revealing himself to the world.
Yeah, it's not anything that I'm fully believing, but I thought I would mention it because, well, Yoshida's here, and the last big thing that happened in the story before this was the Yuko's death.
He's literally just hired to be Denji's handler right now, so... Like, offhand handler.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see. I'm assuming after this fight, we're gonna get more of a glimpse into like what the organization is currently like.
Yeah.
Like if there is like a Kishibe leadership, like, I don't know. It's really this arc is really interesting to me. I wonder how much longer it's gonna last. I could see a few more
Where's
chapters.
the action though, Jim? So the biggest talk is the reveal of Nuka Benny, essentially.
Yeah,
There's new Kobeni with even more hairpins.
I love people just calling them Benny because
no one, yeah,
they're assumedly male.
Okay, so I couldn't find the link yet, but I saw this one fucking unhinged Reddit post of like Arza Chainsaw Man of somebody doing like the fucking Easter egg thing of circling like every panel of them of like the Adam's apple. It's like it's the guy, so you can see the line of an Adam's apple. I'm like, what the fuck? Do you have anything better to fucking do with your life than to find like a fake like fucking Adam's apple? I don't think he like you can see it right here. I'm like,
that's hilarious.
Okay, fuck's sakes, it doesn't matter.
Maybe it's like an Achilles thing where, they dress the boy up like a girl so that, because we haven't learned like the whole backstory, like what is Kobeni's deal. Maybe they need to like disguise the boys as girls.
Yeah, what if there's like this stone curse that like affects the first male?
Chainsaw Man Part 2, it's about a curse.
It's about breaking a
curse. I was thinking, like, maybe their parents are actual devils or some shit, or, like, the family made a pact with the devils to, like, their children, so they all just defaultly have it.
Originally, like, a lot of people speculating on who this person exactly was, I assumed that they were the gifted son that they were talking about, but I was later informed that Arai...
They don't mention a son, do they? I thought they only mentioned daughter. They do? Okay.
Kobeni has 10 relatives, 9 sisters, or 10 confirmed relatives. 9 sisters of unidentified age, all assumingly younger than her, and at least 1 brother. The 1 brother is considered to be gifted, going to college, and older than Kobeni. So at least 21, if not 22 by the time of the series. So this technically can't be the gifted brother, but given that they were forced to join the Devil Hunting Club so that they could possibly get a scholarship so that they could go to college, I have to assume it's from the same family because they're just willing to throw their kids to the fucking shopping blocks.
Okay, but what if they're gifted by, like, not being smart but being incredibly stupid and, like, They keep getting held back multiple times.
That's why there's so many of them. That's why there's 10.
Yeah, we've seen, I think, one Benny's like little sister, essentially. I think that's it.
We saw like one of her really young sisters, and they seem pretty put together overall.
Yeah.
It made Benny seem like the odd duck of the family, but like
this family's fucked. Their parents are the most evil people in Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, it's like Bernadette all over again. We gotta fucking get these people.
But yeah, so we get that introduction. We get, the everybody I guess trying to explore, trying to find the deal. Kind of the same equivalent to the first Attorney Devil. Like they peek their head over to the next floor from below, and like nothing changes. They find like the little snacks, but luckily they don't have a power here to eat everything. And they find fish.
I like for me, aquariums are like really gross and dingy. So the idea of being like stuck in one for a while with all like the fish rotting, there's like a real like level of disgusting horror.
What it reminds me of is it got shafted into the back rooms, but it was it's a specific artist name in there, Infinity Pools.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It made me think, not exactly like that, but the idea of being trapped in something like that feels like that type of situation. And I did like that the series has addressed that they could just smash the glass and get the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, the logistics are... It's cool to have them, like, have to survive. Because it seems like, similar to the other one, they're going to be here for a few days. Or they're like, days may have passed.
So I do like we can cook the fish because we have infinite respawning newspapers. And then fucking little Betty here being like, my bullies make me light their cigarettes, so I carry a lighter. What a fucking sentence!
It's so fucking funny.
Fucking pathetic.
So Asa kind of has like a whole thing where she's like, how can I be useful? Like, oh, he's not being a team player. He's not being useful. Like, what can I do? And then we learn that she has a fucking flip phone.
But also it's just like, she says, I can't eat fish. She'll be like, why not? Like, you could be no one, like, oh, are you a vegetarian? Like, are you allergic? Why not? And like, they're just like discussing that she doesn't eat, she could be a vegetarian because he doesn't like seeing dead animals. Like, what a weirdo. Like,
yeah, no, I do.
Why a lot of people are vegetarians or vegan or whatever.
I do like that talk from Asa. She probably could eat a hamburger because it doesn't look like a dead cow, but she can't eat fish because it just looks like dead fish. It's a very like interesting mindset for her type of character, and like this person she is the worst one that Yoru could have found. She can't eat fucking fish on her own. But
also just seeing her face change to like being like normal to like then once everybody like thinks she's a fucking freak, like Benny just has the most like disgusted, like shocked look. I'm like, is it just someone who's saying I don't like eating fish? And then social anxiety hits and gets even worse when Denji triggers her even more.
I love when she catches Denji, like, what are you doing? And he's like, listen, I've had a bag with 1,000 yen in it. And he is going down the hallway, picking up that bag again and again, because it's infinitely respawning money. Like, what a fucking, that's a him.
Infinite money glitch she found.
He found it, the real life infinite money glitch.
Hashtag life hacks.
And it's really interesting to me that, like, a lot of Asa's disdain for Denji is that he seems to be greedy and, like, money grubbing. But, like, our perspective of Denji is that he's probably taking care of, like, not only, like, a dozen dogs, but, like, a human.
Well,
not human, technically.
He's also very defiant. What she expected was an easily manipulatable dude, and Denji is the last person she could have possibly gotten from that.
The worst pick. And I do love their go to hell to each other. Like,
did you?
It's like a scene like that. It makes me want to like see that animated with like.
Did you see what the best part about that is?
It's a reference, if I'm correct.
It's actually the Japanese itself is. In Japanese, Denji is saying they're basically saying die at each other, not go to hell. But Denji is saying it in simplified Japanese, where Asa is saying it in kanji. Both because Denji can't read kanji, so he only speaks in a sort of like more like casual like
hiragana,
hiragana, like simplified characters. but also it implies that Asa really hates him. She is putting the full emphasis, though she is throwing words with full meaning at him, while he is just saying sounds back to her. So to him, this is just a little spat. To her, she wants him fucking dead.
The only way you can say that is like the different like font they use, I guess, in the subtitles.
Yeah, it's a untranslatable Japanese idiom. Some people like to say sometimes.
If they use wingdings for like one of them, and like,
Denji only speaks in wingdings.
What's what's the terrible font that like everything would...
Papyrus?
No, not Papyrus. No, the
Comic Sans.
Comic Sans, yes. And Asa speaks in Comic Sans.
Well, aren't we? Not quite, but yeah.
See, we would have gotten it, right?
Haven't we transitioned into a more accepting Comic Sans world?
But yeah, then we get the phone moment of her. It made me remember. Oh yeah. Fucking Chainsaw Man doesn't take place in, like, modern, like, the same year as it comes out.
I love her holding the cell phone. She looks so stupid.
She's so proud of herself.
Just her looking at the phone. It's such a funny looking visual. She's so wonderful. I love Asa as a character.
Also, do it higher. I'm like, the big dude could have lifted her up, probably, to, like, get to a better fucking signal spot.
But yeah, at most, this takes place in 1998, so, like, that cell phone is probably pretty fucking, like, new for students at the time.
Well, I mean, that's Yoshida actually has a line that says, "Do high schoolers these days own cell phones?" And, like, he said, luckily for us, Mitaka's ahead of the times. But she is.
Yeah, she's ahead of the times. So ahead of the times that she fucking trips on nothing!
She's like on her tippy toes, I'm assuming, and then just loses her fucking balance. It falls backwards into the fucking door.
It is the
funny.
Most like, how did you do this?
Like, I don't know how.
And I love how mad the class president is. He's like, it's such like the way the shot's framed. It's like we are Asa like on the ground looking up at him, like he's looking down at us.
Yoshida never wants to.
It's like you are the team player. It's very funny.
Yoshida also just constantly covering his eyes, like that picture of like the meme of the guy is like the hair over his eyes. It's like more and more real. I feel like it gets longer and longer over his eyes every fucking chapter.
I fucking love Yoshida's laugh after she breaks the phone, because you have like the Benny freak out, you have the Arai like shock face, and you just have Yoshida like like, I
sensible
felt
chuckle.
That laugh. That was a real awkward laugh.
Like, I'm only laughing because I have the cell phone hidden.
I'm only laughing because I don't feel in real danger, but oh god, that hurt me to watch.
Dies of cringe.
That is how it feels sometimes with us, as like dies of cringe.
Seriously. Like, thank God there's no war devils fucking watching me die. It does make me sad that I don't get to hear her like war fucking commentate during her cringe moments. So I would have paid good money.
I miss Yuru.
She's being held in timeout in the void. But yeah, we get a chapter 115. High schoolers these days. They don't understand. Kids.
That actually what it's called?
Yeah, it's called high schoolers these days.
That's really funny.
Fisher dying.
I also love the detail the toilets don't flush, because immediately it just makes me think of like, ugh, this place stinks. It's already stinky because it's an aquarium, and the toilets don't even flush. Ugh.
Also, and then the Double Hunter Club probably just comes out just to fucking shit on her. Like,
if we
just
would
sitting
have gotten out of here
in the empty hallway, he just gets like, yeah, it's your fault, by the way. You dumb idiot. And he's like, oh yeah, you're Chainsaw Man. You got that starter on your chest. And this is when he says, oh, just an implant.
I'm the number one Chainsaw Man. I'm the president of the Chainsaw Man Society at the high school. I run the Chainsaw Man quiz show contest, and I own every piece of Chainsaw Man merchandise.
Damn.
This is Fujimoto's representation of the perfect Chainsaw Man fan.
Well, this is me.
Until he starts barking. Chainsaw Man. If only he knew.
Also, how many quiz questions can you really come up with for Chainsaw Man?
How many cats have Chainsaw Man statistically eaten?
How many? No. I mean,
how many women has he saved?
I have to assume that Chainsaw Man has been being watched since Bomb Devil, because that's when his cover is blown and that's when people know who he is. You then have all of the International Assassins arc. So whatever quiz show you want to come up with there that you could realistically assume that he would do. You then have all of the ending arc where him versus the Gun Fiend, where Chainsaw Man becomes the superhero and kills the Gun Devil. And then he becomes so popular that people just start making shit up about him.
Yeah, that's true. They start merchandising him he gets no royalties, so he doesn't control any merchandising.
I like the idea of one of the questions just being like, "Who was Santa Claus?" Like,
I like the idea
just really
of
like tripping people up.
Denji entering his own fan contest because they have a money prize pool up there and losing because he's answering them as honestly as possible.
Yeah, they made shit up, or like they're using like lies and stuff that was like rumors.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's a really funny idea. But so this scene is really funny because at first he seems like he's making fun of Asa, and he's like laughing at her, and then he starts like crying and screaming and shitting. He's like, "Please save me, Chainsaw Man."
You're my only hope.
So was the Chainsaw Man.
I was thinking, so how...
I love this guy. He's so good.
He probably has rich parents that paid for his fucking cosmetic surgery, because there are people that have fucking like cat whisker implants on their face and like there's a guy who look like a cat. Like I was like, oh yeah, some fucking idiot would probably put this string, this like rev on your chest, so like when it gets caught on something, you just pull it out and like rip something apart.
I hate the idea of what would it feel like having that and like somebody pulling it.
Yeah, no, that's probably pretty uncomfortable.
It's like a big fear of piercings and shit that I have that same mindset.
Fucking, and then you have the nice cutaway to Yoshida. It's like, nope, that's your cue. Aren't you gonna go reveal your secret identity?
I'm like before this, but he's just like standing there in silence because Denji just like he just hands it pockets like I don't see him talking to Yoshida at all.
I'm loving this dynamic. Yoshida and Denji have like one of my favorite chemistries.
Who holds a phone like that?
Well, one person. L from Death Note.
I think I put it Piccolo from the Dragon Ball superhero movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. He does do that.
Only two people, so he's in a very exclusive league
he's
of
in
goblin
an
cell phone
elite
holding. Piccolo, L, and Yoshida. Congratulations.
It is really funny the position that Yoshida puts Denji in, because Denji in part one was such like a off the handle, always being obnoxious and annoying, not thinking about shit. And in this, it's like he's like, oh, I can't really do anything here. I can't like.
He's like
blah blah blah. He's kind of like, I don't know. Yoshida has like power over him.
And he's also kind of like beforehand where he didn't do anything for the Eternity Devil, and like he got lucky because it showed up and tried to like.
He literally slept. Yeah. He was like, oh shit, I can sleep
I love that scene where he's just like, well, nothing's gonna happen, so I'm gonna sleep. And when I wake up, if the problem's solved, it's solved. If not, then I'll help try to solve it.
He went from like, I don't have to worry about this problem. I can't do anything until like I'm just gonna sleep. But now he has stuff like I'm just gonna loot.
Yeah, like he immediately went to like the looter shooter mindset. He's like, well, there's money to get.
He started smashing walls and like breaking barrels and crates.
Like it's just such a nice moment for Denji. He's evolved a lot as a character, and I really like the line of like. Him talking about like I only beat it last time because it showed itself, and then Yoshida's like, well, what do you think you would do, Chainsaw Man? Would you eat us if the Death Devil asked you to?
Yeah.
So that's something that no one really knows about other than like Makima, maybe Kishibe, but like I guess Yoshida knows about it, that him eating the Death Devil, because I feel like it's top secret information.
Yoshida saying that I have made peace with death this time is a wild fucking statement. Like, what the fuck, man?
Also, just seeing fucking Kobeni 2 licking, like, a fucking tank, like, a glass of, like, an aquarium tank in the one panel, it's like, what a fucking disgusting
Benny's a bit of a fucking weirdo.
Might be somehow weirder than Kobeni.
I love the name Benny.
Where Kobeni went to murder, where they went to just licking.
And if you zoom in really close in that panel, you can kind of see the outline of an Adam's apple.
I need red circles and arrows pointing to it, Jim. I can't see it with my own eyes. I need like a Marvel cameo. I need to like be pointed to it, like a YouTube thumbnail.
I need to inject soy and then point at the scene.
Oh my god. So
Also, I just love Asa sitting in like the fucking water. Like
Ankle
that is such
deep.
a she's like completely like given up. Like
Just-
it's such a funny scene.
Yeah,
but
I like the scene of her just like it's the Fujimoto paneling of the same panel multiple times, which
Yeah.
it's their slight differences, but like not a lot. Like Asa kind of moves her head to the side and like kind of feels depressed. It's to show this like long passage of like quiet time, and I saw some people not really appreciating it this time around because he's done it a couple times now, and I think that I think every time he's done it, it's worked effectively to just sort of get across this sort of passage of like awkward silence. And Asa is like the queen of awkward silence.
yeah. This is like so like socially inept person like as anything we've ever seen. Like, and Denji, where she doesn't, if she says anything, she fucks up, she breaks down. Where Denji would just say anything stupid and not give a absolute shit unless it affects a woman. Like,
It also just it breaks up the flow in a really interesting way. Like a lot of Ghibli movies really relish in like moments of silence and like having like a long period of time where there's no music and there's no sound and you're just kind of with the character. And when you do something like this, even though it is literally just like the panel like repeated, it like makes you think about it. It makes you aware of like, oh, we're like sitting with these characters, we're like experiencing something.
I
with
mean,
them.
when we're going through Ava, how many times do they have just that silent scene of people just sitting
For, like,
there
2 minutes.
soaking? Like, yeah.
Like physically forcing you to be with the characters and like contemplate their choices
little
and the
famous
their position.
elevator scene of just the awkward silence. Like, Chainsaw Man kind of does that and like tried to do that in manga panels.
Yeah, and
I fucking love that elevator.
and then the
scene.
next page is just like the most Asa has ever been like, damn girl, I fucking feel this. This isn't fair.
I'm going to vent. I won't look at you, but I'm just gonna vent because if she looks at Denji, she'll just fucking get angry.
She just starts like, I regret everything I did. I'm sorry for getting everyone involved. This is my fault. And it's not my fault because I can't kill you, because I can't kill you, because I have no idea what right and wrong is. My life is just a string of attempts to avoid making mistakes. What a fucking real line!
I was trying to...
It hurt reading that line!
I also tried to turn you into a weapon, and it didn't work out. And now I'm starved. I'm like, what are you mumbling about? I didn't hear that weapon part, but what are you mumbling about now? It's just...
And Denji's response, so cute. This is such a cute little Denji moment.
But just, I just like heard like she's called herself a total bore, and then like he was listening to the starfish thing. I saw that someone pointed out that like
oh
you
yeah,
did
like
listen to the edible
I
starfish.
bet you like the starfish he picked up is probably one of the ones that she talked about that was edible.
Yeah.
So like, what a fucking solid moment for Den. I love him so much that he's like, can't eat fish. Starfish never looked like they were alive to begin with, so can he eat starfish?
First off, I think he listened to the edible part because it involved food. I think that's why he definitely listened to that part. But I don't think
he does.
There's no way he knows that's the actual starfish, because even if he tried to read the aquarium like information thing, he couldn't.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you that. Knowing the spoiler that I know won't be involved in this, but I bet you that at some point Denji and Asa are gonna walk away from at least either this arc or the next one being a lot closer.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Because after this moment, I felt like,
cute.
yeah, no, I can see where this romance is going. I know that when making Chainsaw Man Part 2, Fujimoto in the past has talked about how like he had thought about romance as a subplot for it going forward, and it was like in one of the interviews leading up into Part 2, and I think that Asa and Denji are that's gonna be a lot of the series, is their relationship, and I really want them to hook up at some point, because I think that they would make a great pair, because they already fucking bicker like married couples.
Oh, we got to see how her other side deal with that.
The other thing
that
I was thinking of, if Denji does transform, say like somewhere later in the arc or before that she can get Yoru back, she'll know who the Chainsaw Man is before Yoru does.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think Yoru will immediately get that information when she gets back inside her head, I think it'd still be interesting to have a moment where she is aware of who Chainsaw Man is before Yoru is.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh yeah, and we see the whole thing with Fammy as well, who's also just I guess is being famine by starving everybody.
Yeah, no, this is an interesting way to represent famine because she didn't lock them away without any food. She locked them away without with a limited resource of food because I think the fish. Sorry, I think the fish might be infinitely respawning, but I think that they also will infinitely rot. So you're never gonna get fresh fish after a while.
Also, this prediction of she's doing this also. She become the president of the Devil Hunter Club and kill off her other club members.
What if she just turns everyone but Denji into weapons?
She's like,
that would be so funny.
I mean, everybody but Kobani because they are going to be like somehow, some way they survive. Like. I don't know. No one likes her at all. Like, no, like who could possibly be a weapon for her? Like, I can't think of anybody.
Listen, she'll turn the Arai 2.0 into a pair of fisticuffs. She'll turn.
I mean, the president is like the only one that's just asking to be killed by her.
Oh, can you imagine if she like turned him into a weapon by pulling his ripcord and turning him into a chainsaw?
Chained to a whip.
Oh my god!
Like a whip sword, like Ivy has in Soul Calibur.
Turns him into a weed whacker.
Weed whacker.
Turns him into a fucking Dead Rising 2 combo weapon.
Oh my god! Hell yeah!
Paddle saw.
A rideable lawnmower. I don't know. Yoshida should be like octopus around to see if he can locate Eternity, because like I think Eternity is still hiding in the general vicinity of into the elevator shaft.
The problem with Eternity is that it could be an infinite amount of miles away from them at any given time. So I don't think Yoshida could find him if he tried.
And this one doesn't want his heart, so I guess it's not making itself known. I'm just wondering how Famine can just summon. If it is
I have
even
to assume
Affinity
that
Devil.
Famine can dominate things the same way Makima does by just asking them at times.
I'm gonna starve you if you don't. And we see how low of a willpower that Eternity had because he couldn't take Denji killing him for a day or a few days.
What if she is starving him so he's in constant hunger pains?
I mean, he would probably try to eat them.
I didn't even think about it. Yeah, that does seem, and it's perfect for Asa because she probably knows that Asa doesn't eat fish, so she's trapping her in a place where there technically is food, but she won't eat it.
And I'm guessing she's able to because Makima was able to observe via birds, and maybe Famine could observe via fish. I don't know.
I always assume that came from her control devil power, because that's always the weird part.
Mm-hmm.
Once we figure out what Fami, or I forget what her name in literally every other translation of Chainsaw Man is, when we finally learn what her restrictions are, we'll learn what Makima had that she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she'll just meet Nayuta and they'll start talking. Can we just have Nayuta show up at any fucking point in this manga,
oh my
please?
God.
Well,
that's like the other shoe dropping for me.
Well, she has to go back to Denji's apartment at some point and meet his daughter, his single dad, so you realize all his scams were for her.
Oh
and
man,
do
that
it for
would
her
be the
board.
moment where she would feel the most guilty about it.
Damn, he's a single dad. This is why he's ripping off homeless people and stealing from the aquarium. Also interesting, the aquarium has I guess no people that work there.
Well, at least there was no people that worked there in that general facility or vicinity when
Thank God.
Turned infinity.
I guess not. No one was on break because the 2 break rooms are just no one's in there.
Yeah, thank God. Lucky them.
But yeah. Great chapters, great character chapters.
Oh yeah, so one other thing I wanted to say, so similar to people complaining about the anime, I saw YouTube videos that were I'm worried about Chainsaw Man Part 2. And
oh my God.
People are upset, I guess, that Chainsaw Man Part 2 is not as actiony as Part 1, which I just, first off, I'm confused at that assessment because I feel Part 1 doesn't really have I don't know. I think in hindsight, they think highly of the action scenes, but a lot of Chainsaw Man isn't. It's not a battle shonen. I would not call Chainsaw Man a traditional battle shonen. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. People are just gonna be. One chapter comes out that's a little short with no action, and people lose their fucking minds.
Yeah, I mean, the big action segment that we got in part 2 so far have been, or the segments, like any war fight has been pretty fucking rad. And
the intro and like the school I guess school shooter moment, it's like the do real action moment.
Or Denji versus Cockroach. Like, we've had some solid, like, strong moments. Like, this is definitely a slower burn series. I feel like this is Fujimoto in his peak element, where he's allowed to... There's nothing that can hold him back now. He's in fucking Jump Plus. They don't give him restrictions here. He barely had any when he was writing Chainsaw Man.
And, like, Chainsaw Man loves seeing, like, the character of Denji is more interesting than him being a Chainsaw Man, like... To be honest, like, it's fun seeing Denji, like, with new characters and, like...
Like, look at Denji during Infinity in Part 1, when he's, like, cackling like an insane fucking, like, monster, and now, where he's thinking about how he has to fight in Infinity, and how he's like, yeah, he'll probably starve us for a good bit, and then he'll come after by heart.
And, like, seeing the people he's, like, stuck around with, these are, like, somehow much more capable, like... stable people, I guess.
I don't know. They've all like... kind of gone insane. I think Benny would be drinking out of the toilet if the toilets weren't probably clogged.
Compare Benny to Kobeni, who went to straight up murdering. Who went straight for murder.
Well, I mean, Infinity played his hand too soon there. He was like, "I'll let you go if you give me that Denji."
And the one dude who's just shadow boxing, and Yoshida seems to be taking it okay.
I mean, Yoshida says himself he's accepted death.
No, he's dealing it better than we saw everybody else in Infinity, honestly.
Oh yeah, everyone here is definitely more stable than Infinity, which is a little...
They don't have power to eat all the snacks instantly either, so... And they haven't resorted to cannibalism either yet. So.
True. I have to say, I looked up I'm worried about Chainsaw Man on YouTube.
Oh my
There's like 5 videos.
It's like us, we looked up like...
It's like a long time.
like us. I was looking up, like, in defense of Mikasa videos after we finished the last season of the anime.
Listen, you gotta have, like, the fucking, like... It's the thumbnail of the Chainsaw Man, like, the newest volume cover. Or you have, like, Jump Plus in the background, a disappointed dude crossing his arms, and an axe slowly coming into frame. It's like, I'm worried about Chainsaw Man. It reminds me of when I think fucking Goodbye Eri came out. I saw a video that was like, is Fujimoto leaving the manga industry? And I'm like, what the... How the fuck did you take that away from Goodbye Eri?
You're gonna see one of the volume cover to be like, too woke? Question mark?
I will say, one cool thing about that volume cover, the newest one with Yuko on it, volume 12, I think, or it might be 13, really neat detail that I had pointed out to me. She, while standing in, like, the standard position, like, the reader's, like, main point of view, the background is inverted because she's hung upside down.
Yeah, I love. I saw that too. I nice touch there.
Oh wow! Okay, I hadn't seen this yet.
It's fucking cool. It's a genius volume cover. Fujimoto does it again, knocks it out of the park.
His volume covers are so fucking cool. I was just at Barnes & Noble the other day, and I was looking at a bunch of them.
Kojumbo does it again.
Damn.
I just like make a montage of just like YouTube thumbnails for Chainsaw Man complaint videos. Fucking Chainsaw Man 2 being woke because Kobeni's trans now, man. They're woke. How dare they? Yeah,
trans Kobeni.
But he's not, because the Adam Apple's right there.
It is just like...
I want someone to...
I know it is just like YouTube culture, but it's
someone should make the Kobeni Adam, or the Betty Adam Apple, like, arrow pointing thing, but, like, put Goku in the background so that, like, it can come full circle.
I just go and arc that Chainsaw Man and sort of like controversial and see what I fucking get.
No.
Controversial all time. Okay. Okay, never mind. Let's keep going on.
Oh, never mind. That was a lot more heated than I was expecting.
Energy and power, like siblings. Oh yeah, you must have a very interesting relationship with your siblings then. It's like them on top of each other. What the fuck is wrong with you, Arts? Part 2 has me confused. Okay, so I admit it, I haven't been reading Part 2 consistently at all.
Alright, no, you can just literally just stop there. That's the most fucking, like, that's, man, it really is JoJo again. Like, I think I had a conversation with Aeon Star a little bit back where he was talking about how it's becoming JoJo again, and like, I was a little bit like, I was hesitant to say that because what JoJo was a very special moment in like, for lack of a better term, meme culture, where it came over to the West through a small drip feed of inside jokes and like fighting game things. It started really as a fighting game community thing before a manga community thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it just exploded when it hit the anime. But there was about a 20-year like pressure cooker on JoJo like as a culture. Chainsaw Man has been out fucking what, like 4-5 years, and it's the same shit. No one reads it. Everyone knows what it is. They're making references, but no one fucking knows the context.
It's crazy how I guess you mentioned before how it blew up and like it was super popular despite not even having anime like, any time around like when it finished.
Yeah, it's reached that level of popularity where it's fun or where it's like it's the cool thing to hate it. And it's a little sad to see, but hey, I'll keep enjoying Chainsaw Man for as long as it stays good.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's where I am too. Like, all these people can be worried. You can be as worried as you fucking want to be worried about Chainsaw Man. I'm gonna sit here every week and enjoy it.
Well, every week or every other week.
Yeah, or every other
Can
week.
we finish reading this? It's not too long. This the controversial.
No, I think
No,
you hit it like right out of the
destroy.
park with the first line of "I haven't been reading it."
Okay.
All right. Well, do we have any other final thoughts? I think we pretty much covered the 2 new chapters
No. But
and the fan response.
if
And
we
the
need,
baffling
I
fan
will
response.
go back to controversial all-time Chainsaw Man after every. Because I can read from posts like I think I have a Devil Kobeni has a contract. Wait, I think I have a Devil Kobeni has a contract with. There's no commas or punctuation. It's a fucking sentence that makes
Classic
no
Redditor.
sense.
Classic Redditor.
This reminds me of the fucking final.
What the fuck? There's so many about Denji and Power or siblings. Why are there so many of these?
Because that is a heated conversation. Because of Fujimoto does interesting things with siblings. If you read Fire Punch.
Okay, that makes sense. I wish I could find the fucking like arrows to the Adam's apple one. I'm so mad I can't fucking find that one. I type in apple, but I'm gonna get fucking Death Note ones. No, damn it.
All right. Well,
We can end it.
I'm about ready to wrap this bad boy up in a bow.
All right, are we ready to plug? What are we plugging?
All right. The dermal hole. When I get my Chainsaw Man surgical implant, you have to plug that hole up so it doesn't get an infection.
Sure. Maddie, you can go ahead and plug whatever you want to plug first.
Alright, well, of course you can buy Shumina at buyshumina.com, but you should also go out of your way and watch Kamen Rider Fies. That's a pretty pretty terrible, great show. I love it. It's 6 out of 10. That is 8 out of 10 action.
You should watch Geats, which is awesome.
That too.
Kamen Rider Geats. Watch Geats and Don Brothers. You won't be fucking like Tokusatsu. You'll love those 2 shows right now. You can follow the you can like the video. Put some comments about your point of view to everything, either the anime, manga, or anything in between.
Are you disappointed in Chainsaw Man
Are you
Part
guys
2?
worried about Chainsaw Man Part 2? Tell me below what you're worried about.
I'm worried.
Have you not been reading reading the chapters? Like,
one guy, like, it's like 3 a.m. He can't go to sleep. He's tossing and turning. I'm so worried about Chainsaw Man Part 2.
That'd be like a controversial opinion. Oh my god. Yeah, also like the video if you haven't already. And also subscribe if you haven't already. With also we're gonna have JoJo coming back soon. We're gonna have
Oh yeah,
that's
that is
true.
true.
Can't wait.
I gotta really decide if I'm gonna fucking pull the trigger on that fucking idea I have involving JoJo Part 9. I love that idea so much.
We'll see.
Yeah, we got some. I guess we have some big predictions gonna be coming up because this January is all we're gonna do. Gotta get our brains back in the prediction
You gotta start
In the theory
sucking
crafts,
copium.
yeah,
Start
the hopium and
reading
copium.
part 8 again and start making predictions while reading, even though you know the ending.
That's
It's like exercise.
the Patreon exclusive, like redoing everything for part 8, but we like had the Men in Black like memory wipe beforehand.
All right, I do have one last thing I want to plug.
Okay, I was gonna plug the Twitter, Jim.
Oh yeah, you finished
The
that.
podcast
Finish
Twitter,
that.
me and Jim separately, while Twitter is still a thing.
Yeah, I have one last thing I want to
Go
plug.
ahead.
There's a video on YouTube. It's called Sus Miser and Crew Miser. It is an Among Us Heat Miser, Cold Miser parody
Jim,
video.
I am good. No, shut up.
I've watched it like 10 times in the past few weeks or few days. It's so
This
fucking
is not what we
funny.
use plugs for. Damn it. Even though
The
we
whole
we
idea-
plug Kamen Rider and Super Sentai.
So it's kind of like the Heat Miser, Cold Miser, except it's a crew member in Among Us and like a sus member in Among Us. And the funny part is the crew member is he says that he only plays the game to do the mini games, which I thought was funny.
Oh. Also, I want to plug you can join our Discord because we have posted part 9 bingo boards on there. So if you want to get in
true,
some
yes.
bingo board action, you can join the Discord and post them there. We have a template on there for you in case you need it.
Yeah, check out please everyone do a bingo board. Everyone do a part 9 bingo
You can
board.
see
with
how
us.
the variety of everybody's hopium they have. But I think that's everything, right? Anything else?
Yeah.
It's not a fucking
Nope.
Heat Miser fucking song.
It's Sus Miser and Crew Miser. Sam.
I don't care.
Don't forget
Jim.
to
I
visit
don't
your
care.
local temple for New Year's, so you can make a wish.
Keep an eye out for the for Kobeni's Adam's apple, so you can make more Reddit posts about.
Make sure to keep an eye out that for everywhere. Like honestly, like I started like searching through Jujutsu Kaisen as well. Like start looking, like just start finding them.
Hey, I'm gonna be like whenever Attack on Titan, Jim, I read through that shit to get caught up when the anime comes up. Like Mikasa's hiding something under that scarf. Oh my god, go fucking unhinged.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this week.
I'm glad
This is
you
always fun.
stayed. If you stayed this far and made you the unhinged part of the podcast, good job.
You
And
did
I
it.
think with that, we end it there. I hope.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.